So if you're considering buying a Akai MPC Studio or Studio Black, I want to share a few things you need to consider before you actually make the purchase. I bought my Studio Black in October 2016 and I've been pretty happy with it and I've been able to make some great beats. So let's have a look at it. As you can see, it comes in a nice slick protective cover which you can open from the top, and it also comes with this felt protective sleeve, and there it is. As you can see, it's very slimline, sleek and lightweight. One of the first things you'll notice is that there are no audio inputs at the back. We only have the power button, the USB and a MIDI in and out. One thing I do love about this is that it very easily slips in with my laptop case, allowing me to transport it very conveniently. Another thing you'll notice immediately is that there is no tilt on the screen. Unlike the other models, like the MPC Renaissance and the 2000 XL and 4000, this one does not allow you to tilt the screen, which could cause you some problems. So as a solution, I got myself a cheap laptop stand, which fits perfect and works well. Another thing you need to be aware of is that the Akai MPC Studio is software based, which means you need to have a computer to plug it into to enable it to work. The hardware does not work by itself. It is not a standalone unit. It is actually more like a controller for the software. So with that in mind, it's important that you have a stable computer with a decent specification. In my home-based studio, I use a Mac Mini with a 2.3 Intel Core i7 processor with 4GB of RAM. This hasn't given me any problems yet. As a mobile studio, I have a 2010 MacBook Pro with 8GB of RAM and a 2.5 i7 processor. Again, this has worked fine. So let's plug it in and see what we've got. One thing I was pleasantly surprised about was that once I had the software set up, I could continue to produce seamlessly without the hardware. So if I turn this off, you'll see I can play all my samples and drum sounds with my keyboard, which is great when I'm traveling. But like I said, it doesn't work the other way around. So without the computer, this unit is dead. Now, as a former MPC 2000 user, everything was done in this little screen here, which at times can feel restrictive. And as I moved through my production journey, I began to use other pieces of software like Reason, Cubase and GarageBand, which I really liked for the visual aspect. So I was very happy with the visual side of the MPC software. And to be honest, I very rarely look at this screen. A lot of my workflow is done on a computer screen. For example, look at the difference between the WAV file in the sample edit screen on the LCD compared to the computer monitor. I know which one I would prefer to look at and work with. And like I said, when I am chopping up samples, I very rarely look at this screen here. Everything is done on a computer screen. Still comparing the LCD browser with the computer browser, just look at the difference with the different screens. This is the program editing screen. It's very visual and easy to browse through. Here's the LCD window version. In the few months I've been using the MPC, I have never changed any parameters on this screen using the LCD window. It's all done on a computer screen. This is a program mixer. Again, you can see it looks like any mixer should look. Here's the LCD version. Just a series of letters and numbers. I also love the track view when MIDI sequencing. As previously on the older MPC units, everything had to be done by ear or by number, where with this, everything can be done visually and you can literally see where notes have landed and you can move notes around where required. One thing to consider is how you're going to get your samples into the MPC. Initially, when I first started using the Akai software, I would sample using a third-party program such as Audacity, and then I would export the sample as a WAV file and drag it into the MPC. But I've since set up my system so I can sample directly into the software through my computer, and even directly from my computer, from places like iTunes and YouTube. And I've got another video where I explain how you can set this up on your computer. Looking at the user interface, it did take me a while to get used to everything, but after a few hours of use, I soon found I was able to produce the beats I wanted to produce. But there's always something else to learn. I'm currently using MPC software version 1.9.6, but again, something to bear in mind is that Akai are working on software version 2.0, which the MPC community is eagerly waiting for, as it has a ton of new features and improvements. But bear in mind, updating from the current software version to 2.0 will be a paid update. So at the time of recording, which is the 27th of December 2016, if you are planning on purchasing the MPC, it may be worth holding on for a while until 2.0 comes out, unless you're happy to pay to upgrade to 2.0. Focusing on the hardware, I do like the feel of the pads. They're very durable and responsive. And these Q-Link knobs are very easy to manage. However, I have noticed in the few months I've been using it, I use this top one more often than the others, and I've already noticed it's beginning to feel a little shaky compared to the other ones. I hope it doesn't break. The control buttons have a soft rubber feel and again are very durable. They're actually made from the same material as the pads. I always remember the problem I had with my MPC 2000 was my shift button began to wear out because I use it so often. However, these ones feel like they've got much more life expectancy and will probably never wear out. A clever little feature they've included in the hardware is that you can actually access all the sub-menus without using the shift button. So although the shift button is there, if you double click any button quickly, it actually accesses the sub-menu. For example, if I press sample edit once, it goes to the sample edit window. If I double tap sample edit quickly, it will go to the sample record menu. I found that to be really useful. Another new feature that I've enjoyed are the expansion kits that are available with the software, which means that you can seamlessly include a whole library of sounds to add to your samples. As standard, the MPC Studio Black came with 3 expansion packs: Hybrid 3, the 809 and the Bank. And you'll see with the Bank, it comes with a large menu of sounds to choose from, and these sounds can be played directly from the pads. Or again, if you've got a MIDI keyboard, then you could play it on there. One feature I do like with the expansion packs is the chords feature, where you can set up and play chords by just hitting one pad. This really speeds up the production process, especially for someone like me who can't play keys. But one thing I've noticed, and it's worthwhile bearing in mind, is that the expansion pack sounds do seem to eat up a lot of processing power, and once you start incorporating a lot of these sounds into your track, the MPC can become a little glitchy and start to slow down. So what I do is I'll layer the track in MIDI initially and then export it as audio and use it in the same way as I would use a regular sample. So those are just a few things to bear in mind if you are considering buying an Akai MPC Studio Black. There are many other options out there on the market, but I've been very happy with mine so far, and I am looking forward to the release of Studio Software 2.0. So hopefully you found this useful. If you did, then give me a like and make sure you subscribe for many more Akai MPC related videos. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you check out my other videos where I take you through a process of finding a sample, chopping it up and making a beat. I'm Tony Brown, and I will see you again in another video. All the best, God bless, and take care.